everybody, my name is Wattles and I've got a question for you. The question is a statement. The statement is also a question. Wattles merch is the statement question. Just Wattles merch. I hope you're doing well though. Welcome back to the guide series. Today I am running in circles looking for lots of things. So I've seen the calls for it in the comment section and I have a lot of fun making these episodes. So today is going to be a grand exploration episode. We're going to go to beaches we've never seen, so far and away and high and low, and we're gonna go really far in a straight line basically, guys. So I'm desperate here. I need a jungle biome. I really need a jungle for cocoa beans and more jungle saplings. I have one jungle sapling and we'll play the gamble game today later. We'll plant the sapling and see if we would have gotten enough, but first I'm going to hunt for a new biome. So that's the goal. The plan, how am I going to find a jungle? Well, I'm going to go in one direction. So I've tried, like wandering around over here kind of aimlessly, just sailing through the ocean, and it's not working. I haven't found a jungle. So today we're going to go from our base, which goes on that map. It's in my hand, and we're going to go straight over to like X 10,000. That's the plan. Seriously, I'm not joking. It's not a prank or anything. I wish it was, but it's not. But I figured another walking episode or sailing or, just exploration episode could potentially be boring. And so that means we're going to try something out that is very different for the series, but hopefully you guys will find it interesting. But first, our materials. I'll just show you what I have. I have an ender chest, and I have my silk touch pickaxe this time. I did mend it up. Actually, before last episode at the skeleton farm, I have my beacon just in case, and my shulker exploration box with all of my map making supplies. So I'm set to make even more maps. Of course, we're going to map this whole journey, but today's different thing. So if you can recall back on episode 47, when we were working on our automatic fish farm, I asked you guys a question. The question was Optifine episode, yes or no? There was a poll on that video, and a lot of you guys seem to have voted for yes. In fact, at the time of recording, it is 84% yes, do an Optifine episode, 15% no, and then 1% is just missing, like into oblivion. I have no clue. So even if we group that extra 1% into the 15%, we still would have a definite yes, 84 to 16. And so that's how I decided that today's episode would be all about Optifine. So I will be chopping up this journey, this exploration journey, and cutting in and out with Optifine information. So maybe right now I start defining Optifine, and then in the next cut I'm all of a sudden a lot further, and that's just to kind of progress our journey. To properly explain Optifine, I will need to pause the game a lot, so yep, that's how I'm doing things, and I think I've covered all of my explanations. So first things first, what is Optifine? Well, Optifine is a client-side mod that improves performance. Now, whoa, you say, what is a client-side mod? Wattles, you're going crazy. Well, a client-side mod is basically, in simple terms, client-side is your side, so here on my computer, and then mod is modification, a change, an adjustment. So a client-side mod, in other terms, could be called a personal game change, I guess. Basically, Optifine adjusts the graphic settings of your Minecraft game in hopes of improving performance, but it also enables other things that greatly decrease performance, like shaders. And we will go over shaders a little bit in today's episode, but probably not all that much. I'm thinking about doing a texture pack episode, actually, later on in the future, if today's episode goes well. If my Optifine research and digging has been correct and successful, the first version of Minecraft that Optifine modified was Java Edition Beta 1.4. Optifine is unfortunately a Java Edition only thing, but hey, that's okay because it seems that the Bedrock Edition version of the game seems to run a whole lot better than Java Edition as it is unmodified. Oh boy. Pausing the Optifine speech for a minute to talk about how I forgot a bed. But hey, joke's on me, because I brought lots of wool for Banner, so we didn't forget a bed actually. Java Edition Beta 1.4 released on March 31st, 2011, so Optifine has been around for a long time. Now, who should use Optifine? Well, honestly, in my opinion, anyone and everyone. Now, not to float my computer up by any means in any way, but I would say it's decent, and I am still using Optifine. No matter how beefy or weaky your computer is, Optifine is going to help things out. Optifine can greatly and will greatly improve your game's performance. My game usually runs really smooth, and I credit a lot of that smooth performance right over to Optifine. Without Optifine, even I experience quite a bit of, I guess we could say, performance bugs. Now, where does one get Optifine, you say? Well, one gets Optifine from, of course, the Optifine website. I have dropped the link to this website down in the description. If you are considering downloading Optifine, only download it from this site. This is the only official website of Optifine. If you're downloading it from somewhere else, that could be a little dangerous. So on the homepage of the Optifine website, we have basically a brief summary of Optifine. I'm not going to read through this because this is what we're going over in today's video. Right near the top though, we have our next tab, which is Downloads. After Downloads, we have Donate. Optifine is a free mod, 100% free, but you can donate to the developers of this mod, and I definitely recommend that if you're insanely happy or satisfied with this mod. And actually, if you decide to donate, you will get something in return. You may or may not have noticed my cape before. My cape actually came from an Optifine donation. Now, if I'm being honest, I didn't donate myself. A friend of mine actually gifted me my Optifine cape. So if you happen to not be a time traveler and you can't go back to one of the old in-person Minecon events and collect up a cape, well, donating to Optifine is another way to get a cape on your account. You can customize this cape with pretty much all of the banner patterns that are available to you in vanilla Minecraft. So back over on the Optifine site, finally we have a login tab and a fact tab. If you have a question about Optifine, try checking the fact tab. But let's talk about downloading Optifine. So slide over to downloads and find whatever version you're playing on. The newest Minecraft version with Optifine available will be right at the top. If you're playing a future version and Optifine isn't quite out yet, try checking the preview versions. Once you've found your version and you're ready to download, press download. Pretty straightforward. After that, you'll be sent over to an ad fly page, and don't click on anything. Be careful. The button that you need will be in the top right corner. Press skip ad after 5 seconds, and then you can download Optifine from this link right here. Press download and you'll get a Roblox ad probably. For some reason, I always get the same ad. Now, depending on your browser, you may or may not get a warning, but Optifine is safe. As long as you're doing it this way, you can keep it. After the downloads, go ahead and open it. After opening your download, you should have something that looks like this with your folder in the middle. Go ahead and press install, and of course, Optifine should install. Over on your launcher, you'll need to change your version over to an Optifine version so your game launches with Optifine. So that is how you download and install Optifine. Now, I'm absolutely sure that a good majority of you guys already knew how to download and install Optifine, but if we're going to talk about Optifine, we might as well cover all of it. Not 30% of it, not 50% of it, all of Optifine, including installation. So, after you install Optifine and you launch your game, you should immediately notice a little bit of a performance increase. Pretty much everything should look the same in your Minecraft game after you've loaded up Optifine. The things that Optifine does change are definitely a bit more behind the scenes. Now, what do I mean by behind the scenes? Well, try checking your options menu. Go into the video settings tab and you should notice quite a bit of brand new toggles. These toggles are definitely going to need some explanation. Some of the toggles in this menu were in the vanilla game. Optifine doesn't change literally everything, and Optifine doesn't take away anything at all. That's why I'm recommending this for everyone. Now, when we go over these toggles, I'm not going to press on things. I'm going to leave them alone so I don't mess up my settings. But if you have Optifine, definitely try pressing things, changing things, and just watching to see what happens. First off, we have our graphics tab. You can think of this top left toggle as pretty much a master control. If you have a beefier computer, then you should set this on fancy. If you have a weaker computer, then you should probably go with fast. This is going to change the quality of things. So on the fast setting, things like water, leaves, clouds, shadows will look a little less good. On the fancy setting, everything looks better. Right next to that, we have the render distance toggle. This is a toggle that I will change. If you have a weaker computer, try placing your render distance lower. Render distance can also be summed up as how far can you see. So with my render distance on 6 chunks, I can see 6 chunks. With my render distance all the way up on 56 chunks, my game, or my computer, is going to try and load 56 chunks. Now, 56 chunks is a little absurd. I don't usually play with that. I'm usually in the low 20s to the upper 30s when it comes to my personal render distance preferences. I definitely recommend to turn your render distance up when you're exploring, like what I'm doing, so you can see something. If you're looking for a jungle like me, you definitely don't want to miss it, so turn your render distance up a little bit more if you can handle it. Another good time to turn the render distance up is for a picture. If you're just taking a picture, you can probably fight through the lag, because lag will not show up in a picture. All you need is that good image, then you can turn that render distance right back on down. Going back over to the left column and taking a look at the next toggle, this one is called smooth lighting. Smooth lighting also deals with the quality of your game. Smooth lighting basically smooths things out. So now my smooth lighting is off and everything kind of looks, in my opinion, like old-fashioned. And that's because this is how I used to play. If you turn your smooth lighting setting up to the maximum setting, things like the shadows in the corners of your blocks will look nice and smooth. Clean, subtle, smooth, like a gradient. Now I'd like to pause and say here that you can hover your mouse over most of these settings and you'll have an information box pop up. This box is actually pretty useful because it will tell you which settings are the best for performance. So if you're looking for the optimal settings, just try reading these toggles or listening to what I'm saying. Now the next toggle is the max frame rate toggle. In simple terms, the monitor that you're playing on can only display so many frames at a time. If your frame rate is higher than what your monitor can display, your screen will look kind of all torn up and weird looking. And that is why I play with VSync on. I've seen quite a bit of comments across a lot of my episodes asking me about the VSync toggle, and yeah, that's why I have it on. It's so my game will look smooth for you guys and for me. Oh boy, completely off of the Optifine track, we have a warm ocean back there. I had to turn around to fill in the map. I kind of made it a little late, but moving on to the next toggle on our list. This is the smooth lighting level slider. You can slide this one up and down and it will adjust the amount of smooth lighting in your world. Now pay close attention to the left side of the screen. This is where you can really notice what's going on with the smooth lighting. So as I turn this up, the sand will start to look a little more shaded, a little more natural. As you can see, the corners of these blocks are starting to get shaded in more real. And this over here is exactly what smooth lighting does. It shades things. But smooth lighting does tend to cause quite a bit of performance issues. So if you have a weaker computer, try turning your smooth lighting down, or if you have to, off all the way. Smooth lighting really just makes things look pretty. It's definitely not necessary to play Minecraft. Next, we have the view bobbing toggle. So take a look at what walking looks like with view bobbing on. Really the big thing is in either of my hands, and then once we turn view bobbing off, all of a sudden, we look like we're sliding around. So if you don't like view bobbing, go ahead and turn it off, and then you get this. I'm not flying, I'm literally just walking, but that is what view bobbing does. I need view bobbing to play, otherwise I literally think I'm flying the whole time. GUI scale is another one that I will go ahead and adjust. You can see plain and clear here what the GUI scale toggle is doing. It's changing how big all of these settings are, changing how big my hotbar is, things like that, the GUI. Use VBOs or vertex buffer objects is a toggle that has to do with rendering. This should just really be on. This toggle is meant to increase the rendering speed of your world. And if we are to believe the tooltip box, which we probably can, this rendering model is usually 5 to 10% faster than the default rendering. Next, we have the brightness toggle, which adjusts your game's brightness. All the way down means your game's going to look darker. All the way up means your game will look lighter. Head into a cave system or the nether and adjust this toggle, and you will notice the difference instantly. The attack indicator toggle changes where your attack indicator will be. The indicator is that whole cooldown thing. So if I back out and I swing my sword, right below my crosshair is my attack indicator. If you don't like that indicator there, you can change it to your hotbar. Then down by my hotbar on the right is my attack indicator. I tend to like it by my crosshair. I think that kind of just fits a little better, and it's easier for me to notice. If you don't like it whatsoever and you're just a pro, you can turn it completely off. The next button is the dynamic lights button. If you've ever been watching a Minecraft YouTuber's video and their torch is letting off light in their hand, well, then they're using Optifine. Now, it's going to be very difficult to notice over here because it's very bright, but this torch is illuminating this area. It's making things a little brighter. Now, this is all a visual thing. The world around me with a torch in my hand is not actually being lit up. My screen is being lit up. That goes back to the whole client-side mod thing. But if you like how when I'm in the nether or when I'm in a dark place and I hold the torch out and it lights things up, well, that's all thanks to Optifine. That's how it's done. But the dynamic light thing can cause some lag, so it's up to you if it's worth it or not. If you want quick performance, you'll probably have to turn this thing off or over to fast. Dynamic FOV changes your field of view when you move. So notice that when I run, my screen kind of widens. My view zooms out a little bit, and then when I stop running, like this, the view zooms in. If I turn that off, that is not going to happen. My FOV will stay the same always. I'm running now, and I stop running, and no change. Now, I'm fully aware, I obviously fully realized that I said I wasn't going to toggle any of these things, and I was just going to talk about it, but I could not resist the temptation. And I'm also like a visual person. I like to see things, so yep. I scrapped the idea of not touching things immediately. I hope that it adds to the video in some way. But anyways, the next toggle that we should talk about is the shader toggle. So shaders are what makes your world look beautiful and pretty, or in other people's opinions, wobbly and headachy. You can download shaders from a variety of websites, but be careful. But you should know that shaders cause a lot of lag, so if you're downloading Optifine to improve performance, you should never touch the shaders toggle. No, no, no. Oh, wow, this is the first mountain biome that I found in this world. That is one of the, like, gravel hills ones. That's pretty cool. I wouldn't mark it on the map, but I can probably find it. I mean, I don't know. Now that I'm saying it, I'll probably forget about it, now that I think about it, but interesting. When I need gravel, I'll have to head back out here. It's just a straight line. What are we at? We're 5,500 blocks out. We're halfway, and I haven't found a jungle. Oh, boy. But moving on down our list. Next, we have the quality toggle. Inside of the quality toggle, we have a lot of things. Obviously, these are all about the quality of the game, how things are going to look. Now, if you're going for performance, you're going to probably want to turn a lot of these things off. Like better snow, you should probably just turn that off. Custom items, off as well. Custom GUIs, off. So yeah, basically, if you're looking for performance, hover over things, take a look at what they are, and if it says off is faster, unfortunately, off is faster. Now, one thing that I can't stand is better grass. Take a look over here at the grass blocks, like I don't know. This is the normal look, and that look, you can't have grass that's like that. I don't know. I don't like it. It's not my favorite. So real quickly, we'll go through the bottom toggles and we'll talk about these top sliders. Emissive textures basically deal with that whole torch lighting up thing in darkness. Better grass is that ugly grass thing. Custom fonts, of course, custom fonts, maybe in like a resource pack or something like that. Connected textures can be showcased when you're looking at glass. If you've seen any of the glass on any of the builds in my world, unfortunately I don't have any to show you right now, but the glass is not a grid. It's all connected, and that is thanks to Optifine. The connected textures toggle is a toggle that I have always left on. Even when I had like a weaker computer, I just have to. That's one of the big reasons that I love to play with Optifine. Thankfully, with this one, there is a fast option. Next, Custom Sky. This again deals with custom skies and resource packs. Custom entity models, again, resource pack toggles. Custom GUIs over here, resource pack. Custom item, a resource pack thing. Natural textures, not necessarily a resource pack thing, but sometimes with natural textures on, things are going to look a little more natural. Now, unfortunately, there's nothing that I can really show you here, but Minecraft is a game about grids, kind of, right? Like, the blocks can get repetitive. If you turn natural textures on, Optifine will rotate, and I'm using air quotes here, rotate some things. Blocks actually aren't rotated at all, but on your screen, the textures will be so things don't look like, yeah, just a giant flat grid. Custom colors is a resource pack thing. Better snow is actually not a resource pack thing. And this one definitely can be shown off. So let's go ahead and make a crafting table and then some fences, or yeah, we'll make actual fence posts because I know it works with these. So if we take this fence post and place it down on the snow is still there. That is only due to the better snow toggle. If I turn that off, you can actually see that there's no snow there. If you look in between the toggles there, better snow places snow under things like grass and fences, but it actually doesn't. It just does it on the client side, so on your screen it looks like snow is there. Finally, the random entities toggle is again a resource pack toggle. If your resource pack randomizes the textures of entities, well, this is for you. Now, these top toggles are toggles I will not be toggling, but this has to do with how your game looks. Adjusting these toggles will change how things look in the foreground and off in the distance. To mimic my settings, copy what I have up here. Next, we have the details toggle. The details toggle can be shown off really quickly. This toggle controls the details in your game. In the last episode, I changed the cloud height. Well, this is how I'm doing it. You can slide it up and down and change where your clouds are at. If you have a weaker computer, you can turn clouds completely off, and that will actually improve your game's performance. This trees one is going to be very noticeable. Watch the tree leaves at the top of the screen. If I turn this to default, nothing. If I turn it to fast, we have the solid looking leaves. If you have a lot of lag in your game, you should dive into this menu and read these overlays and turn things off. By turning a lot of these things off, like even the sky altogether, you are going to get better performance. So for the most part, most of these are just turning things on and off, like the sky, the stars, even rain and snow. But keep in mind, this is client side again. It might be raining in your world, but you just won't see the rain. Fog start will change where your fog starts. 0.2 means closer, 0.8 means farther. Finally, the last thing that we should talk about here is biome blend. If you've ever built in different biomes in Minecraft, you probably have noticed that the color of things kind of changes. For example, in the mountain biome, this grass is really kind of like pale and cold looking, and then in the jungle, we have this intense green. That's due to the biome colors. The biome blend toggle is another slider, and it can be slid up and down to adjust the amount of biome blend that you want. Mine is set on 7x7. To replicate my game, I have most of these things on their fancy setting. The next button is the performance button. Click on this button and we have a whole nother menu area. This section of the Optifine menu is all about, of course, performance. Much of these toggles are things that will help improve the performance of your game. For example, smooth FPS will help smooth your FPS. If your game tends to go from 30 FPS to 45 down to like 27, back up to 40. If you turn this on, your FPS should be smoothed out and a little more stable. Fast render should be turned on to substantially increase your FPS. That means increase your FPS a lot. Fast render uses a better rendering or loading algorithm to render your world. Smooth world helps smooth out those big lag spikes that happen from time to time. Fast math is a toggle all about using faster math functions to increase your FPS. With dynamic updates turned on, your world will update more when you are standing still instead of moving around. That means doing things like loading new chunks when you're standing still. With lazy chunk loading on, the chunks around you should load in smoother. With smart animations on, textures that are animated, like say the sea lantern, will only be animated when they are on screen. When they're off screen, they'll sort of just freeze. This is one that you should definitely turn on if you're looking at improving your performance. Render regions assist the rendering of chunks when your chunk distance is raised up higher. This will help improve FPS. And finally, chunk updates. If you adjust this chunk update toggle, you may see a hit in your FPS. The higher this number is, the more chunk updates you will have per frame. We are nearing the end of our list now. So, the next toggle is another toggle that opens up a whole nother menu. This one is really quick and easy. The animation menu is all about the animated textures in your game. So, flame animation, rain splash, portal particles, water particles, all of that type of stuff. If you want your game to run smoother, turn all of these off. If you want your game to look better, turn all of these on. Over here near the bottom right, we have a master toggle that will turn your particles from all down to decreased, down to minimal, and then back to all. So this one kind of controls everything as a whole. Jumping back a few minutes, this is the biome blend right here. So we have a plains biome and then a dark oak, and you can see that the blocks kind of slowly get lighter or darker depending on which way you're looking at it. But yep, that's the biome blend stuff right there. And oh boy, here we go on to our final map. Still no luck whatsoever. I haven't seen anything worth marking either. I mean, I know I'm running in a straight line, so what are the odds of me actually hitting things? But, yeah, kind of interesting. At least we can say we have Optifine almost completely explained, but let's go ahead and take a look at the final Optifine menu toggle. This is another button that leads into a whole nother menu. This is the other settings. These are kind of just extra things that you could adjust if you'd like, but from my experience, they're not as, I guess, really useful. For example, the lagometer will show the lagometer on the debug screen. So if we turn this on and we look at the F3 screen, we have these two bottom charts. It's really just extra information. It doesn't really do much for you. Debug Profiler adds another bit of information to the F3 screen. Show FPS actually shows the FPS in the top left. You may have seen that in other YouTubers' videos. Some people like that on. I don't. It distracts me. Advanced Tooltips is like the whole durability thing that can actually be used without Optifine, though I believe. Weather is the weather. You can turn this off and then you'll never see any weather, but it will still rain. Keep that in mind. Time is the time of the day. If you only want your game to look like it's in the day, you can turn that on. If I turned it to night, it will look like it's always at night, but this time setting is only going to be effective in creative mode. If I turn this on in this world, it's not going to work. Full screen is full screen, like play your game in full screen or not. If you play your game in full screen, it usually runs a little faster, by the way, so you should play in full screen. Auto-saving is auto-saving. Saves do create lag spikes, so if you happen to be experiencing those a lot, maybe try turning this up. Screenshot size is the size of your screenshots that you take. And finally, show GL errors will show the open GL errors in chat. Again, more of a technical thing. Down here, we have a resolution toggle that I will not be adjusting, and then finally a master reset toggle. If you've changed all of your settings and you want them back to normal, press the reset button. But for the most part, well, I think entirely actually, those are all of the Optifine settings. I hope I did them justice. I hope you found the information that you needed from this episode. I know it's been so different. We're not ending now, though. We still have a journey to finish, but yeah, that's Optifine, and I hope things make a little bit more sense. If you do have a question, drop it down below, and I'll try and get back to you, or somebody else will answer, and yeah, but now we need to finish the journey off. We are at X 8,300, and things are not too promising so far, if I'm being honest. But basically, either we're getting to 10,000 or we are finishing this map. No matter what, there will be no more maps made. No. Fingers crossed that this works. I really don't count on it working, but hey, that's a really cool ship. That's the perfect shipwreck, actually. I was looking for that only like 20 episodes ago. Wow. And that dolphin is zooming. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. Oh, you know, another thing that Optifine does is the zooming thing. I don't know how I forgot to mention that. If you've ever seen YouTubers zooming around in their videos like this, well, they have Optifine. That's how I do it. By default, the zoom toggle with Optifine is the C key on your keyboard. And hey, those are mine. I hear a drowned, though. Where are you, drowned? I just cut through the whole ship, really. Wow. Okay. A treasure map, sure, and some papers. I'll take it. And finally, what do we have over here? Coal and stews. Okay. We'll take those. We'll leave the other stuff, though. I do have an ender chest, so we can definitely store some of this stuff in here for now. Oh, and we're right near the treasure. You already know I'm going for the treasure. We might as well at least come out of this journey with a heart of the sea. Aha, there you are. Treasure, heart of the sea, you're mine. And iron, and gold, and emeralds. Awesome, and I need to breathe. Nice, not bad. At the least, we have a brand new Heart of the Sea to add to our collection of useless Heart of the Seas. I need to definitely get on a whole, you know what, I'm not keeping this. I need to get some prismarine or some sea lanterns or something, like ASAP. No. No. No, 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 no. You're telling me this worked? This actually worked? I thought this was, what? If I'm being honest, I thought today's video was just going to be kind of like an Optifine episode where I walked and I explained, but I did not think this tactic would actually work. Okay. All right. I can't complain about it. I'm happy. I mean, sure, yes, cool. Okay, so a kind of a complete change of tone, complete change of pace. How close are we? Oh my gosh, we're 500 blocks away from what I said my limit would be. I don't mind if I do, and I think from now on, if we need to find anything, we need to stay like on the straight level of where our home is. So, you know, when we made our cave base, we stayed at the cave base, and then we ended up settling like almost straight out to the left, and like literally a straight line from the cave base, entirely coincidentally. I didn't know that until I had a map. And now I have a jungle biome straight out in the other direction. I mean, 10,000 blocks straight out, but still straight out. So we have cocoa beans now, which means brown dye. We have not had any brown dye at all. We'll have to come back, well, you know, I guess we could import an ocelot. I was going to say come back for a cat, but cats aren't done like this anymore. No, no, no. But the one thing that I am going to do now is get at least 4 jungle saplings to take back home. I didn't bring obsidian for a portal. I really didn't think this would work out. I could go down and find some obsidian, or I could just march back home. And, you know, it's a long ways. It's a very long ways, but I think we're just going to march back home after this. I'll stay here. I'll get my jungle saplings, and then we are hightailing it happily back home with jungle saplings and happiness. Lots of happiness. At least 4 jungle saplings, though, too. Those are almost more important. There's 1. I can't believe this worked. I am shocked that this actually worked. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Notch, not Notch, Jeb, Dinnerbone. Thanks, guys. I'm very tempted to explore this biome, but I don't have a lot of space. I have my ender chest, but I think that's kind of full too, so we're not going to stay and explore. We will just be going home, but now that I know this is here, you can already bet that I will be coming back. So we'll go ahead and leave stairs here. I'm just emptying my inventory. So there's a bench. We have a bench looking at the jungle, and you know, I think it would be smart too to go ahead and leave a crafting bench here and a bed, just in case, because it would be bad. I mean, I probably wouldn't make it here without a bed, but if I made it here without a bed and I needed to sleep, that would be bad. So we'll leave that there too, and I think it's time to pack up and head home. And just so you guys know, I threw a flint into the water there. That is the tribute and the thank you for helping me find this biome. The thank you to the Minecraft gods that sent me this jungle biome. I am so happy. I love jungle wood. And I haven't even been able to talk about it. I love this stuff. Would you take a look at my beautiful, beautiful map? Like, I don't know. That's pretty, pretty funny looking to me. I don't know. I can't stop looking at this map and laughing. It's like, all filled in and then just random. Long leg. We might have to definitely move the wall too. If I were to continue this down, you know, we'd kind of be blocked in a little bit, so maybe the map wall needs a new home. Now, when I was sailing back, I actually found an ocean monument right out here too, and it looked like there was a mushroom biome, like down below the ocean monument. It would be like on this map here, but yeah, I didn't go over to the biome. I just think I saw it, so that's kind of cool. We'll definitely have to get a portal going out there so we can explore the jungle sometime. But now we have lots of stuff in here, there it is. Okay, so 6 saplings, 10 cocoa beans. This is amazing, absolutely amazing. We're definitely going to be farming up those jungle trees and incorporating the wood into the builds. But it's time for the comment of the day. Today's comment of the day is from Moon. The comment reads, "Awesome series, just discovered your channel and it's awesome. I was wondering, how many hours do you think you have in your world?" And first, thank you. And second, hours in my world. Is that in the statistics screen here? I think it is, right? Aha, 6.69 days in this world. So, yeah, quite a bit of time. Yeah, these statistics are really interesting too, by the way. Like, you can just see a lot of really cool information. But I think that just about does it for today's episode of the Minecraft Guide. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you very much for watching. It was very different, like, obviously from an episode standpoint and from a making the episode standpoint. So, let me know if you liked it. If you did, I'll make more like this. Oh, and I'd like to send a special shout out to Gabe. Thank you for the support, and everyone, go have a good day. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.